It's been very interesting to watch downtown from the view of being a tech student to working here in architecture and real estate, and now the job I have at the Metro Atlanta Chamber. To see downtown change.
The footprint of real estate has drastically changed in the last 10 years. The need for space has gotten smaller. People are becoming more efficient.
It's been interesting. I grew up in Atlanta, so I've seen the growth of Atlanta from when I was a kid.
Change and growth, two key components in the evolution of any metropolitan area. For the last century, BOMA has helped the Atlanta real estate professional navigate the unpredictable roads of change, while maintaining a focus on the future and a better, more prosperous community. As BOMA enters its second century, dealing with change has meant expanding to encompass all of Georgia's growing commercial real estate landscape. It also means staying attuned to what has always mattered most to BOMA: people.
One of the key things that will be the same and will have to remain a focus is people. And I think they'll have to continue to focus on supporting people and creating an environment in which people can be successful through education, through networking.
BOMA's had to vary their programs and reach the audience in a different way. So the growth has caused BOMA to have to change. And it's been a positive change, and we've handled it very well.
As it enters its second 100 years, BOMA prepares for the opportunities the future brings, with more innovation and even more changes ahead.
We're in the middle of a huge transition. The younger generation, they don't do things the way the older generation did. So with all the new technology and the way the younger people want to do their jobs, we're all changing, and BOMA's really working to bring us programs that help us to understand this and to work these things out in a positive way.
Personal interaction in the workplace will never really be replaced by technology. It'll be supplemented but not replaced. And I think the way architecture affects real estate by the technology revolution, as well as the human need for interaction, it's going to be an interesting dynamic to watch.
BOMA's goal is to always be ahead of the needs of its members, so that it can serve as a guide, a solution provider and resource for the most important issues facing the real estate industry. This means being at the forefront of movements that matter. It means understanding that going green isn't just a trend, it's a commitment to creating a better Georgia.
Green issues are relatively new, certainly they're not as old as the industry. And so as the industry evolves, as there's a new piece or segment of the industry that we have to know about, opportunities for education and designations arise in those areas. So I think we will continue to see that kind of thing happen. And BOMA Georgia has also done a great job of facilitating opportunities for people to learn to get their LEED credentials. So that's been very good as well.
The whole idea of sustainability, in the beginning, I remember some people thought, that's a bunch of hokey stuff, you know. Who cares? It's not a big thing. Besides, we passed the cost on to the tenant. Well, eventually the tenant figured out that management of expenses of energy and water and other things were important to them.
It's coming down to benchmarking standards that Europe's a lot further ahead of us in benchmarking their green progress. So we're catching up, and BOMA can bring those pieces to the members.
It's not just a competitive thing. It's not just can my building win this award, but do the employees in my building know that the building's green? Are the firms in my building capable of hiring people more effectively because the workplace is a sustainable workplace? So it's a permanent shift.
So then when LEED certifications came about and all these different organizations that are wanting to do certifications on buildings, BOMA members were way ahead of the game. So BOMA's always been ahead of the game when it comes to the changes that are going on.
Of course, sustainability means more than going green. The industry is now taking it a step further by moving toward high-performance buildings, and BOMA has been there from the start to encourage growth and offer an array of training options to its members.
A building that's a high-performance building is a building that has really, really sharp procedures and policies. They reach out to the community at a high level. They do all the things they're supposed to do with sustainability and energy management. So everything they do is fine-tuned, and they do it at a very high level. BOMA developed a BOMA 360, which is a program that recognizes buildings that are at that level. And that's been an awesome program. It's been growing by leaps and bounds.
For the past century, the one constant in the commercial real estate community has been change. BOMA has been there to offer members innovative ways to thrive during transformative times. There's more change ahead, and BOMA will be there just as it has in the past, leading the charge into a better, more prosperous future.
There's been a lot of change in the last 100 years. We've seen the adoption of various technologies, generational changes in the workforce, the push for environmental sustainability, and now the transition to high-performance buildings. And through all this change, one thing has been constant. BOMA has been a leader in helping to move the industry forward. So while we may not know what the changes are going to be over the next 100 years, one thing is certain. BOMA will continue to be a leader, driving change and innovation in the industry.